Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. Right now I'm on OpenRouter because in this video I'm going to be vibe coding with the new Kimi K2 model. So as you guys can see here, this model was just recently released November 6th. So we have Kimi K2 Thinking and we're going to be able to use it in OpenRouter. It's interesting because with this model you have Kimi K2 Thinking here, which is 60 cents per million on the input and then $2.50 per million on the output. And then you also have this Kimi Linear 48B, which has a higher context. If I go back to Kimi K2 Thinking, this one has a 262,000 context window, and then the Kimi Linear is a 1 million context with 30 cent per million and then 60 cents per million. So the affordability of this model here is very, very interesting. So we're going to be trying out both of these models inside of Cursor today. So let's hop over to Cursor, and what we're going to do over in Cursor is simply we are going to hop over to the model selector here. Let's go down to models and let's actually go down to API keys. As you guys see here, I have the OpenRouter base URL set up here, and all I need to do to actually enable it so that it uses it by default is to click enable OpenAI key. So now it's using my OpenAI, or not my OpenAI router key, but my OpenRouter key. So then all you have to do is you can click view all models. Side note, the Kimi K2 model is accessible by default inside of Cursor. So, you know, we were using, what was it? It was the Minimax model the other day, and Minimax is not available in Cursor, but Kimi K2 is available in Cursor. So just something to note and be aware of. But we're actually just going to be connecting to it directly with OpenRouter. So let's hop over here. Let's go, and all you have to do is you have to just enter the model name, and you can click add. Same thing. So we're going to be using both and testing both. So let's now go over to Kimi K2 Thinking. We're going to copy that as well. So we're going to be using both of these models and testing them in different agentic tasks. So now that that's done, let's close our Cursor settings. Let's go over and open up let's actually just close all these so it's clear and clean. And what I want to do is I now want to open this up. I have an agent here, and I'm going to scroll down, and we're going to select the Kimi Linear 48B A3B instruct. That is a mouthful, but all you have to do to enable the browser tools in Cursor is to click this browser icon, then click browser tab, and that's going to automatically be able to open that up. And there's a couple things that I want to take a look at and to process with this model. So obviously this is a model that has significant thinking and context, so I want to give it a task that would be like fairly difficult, right? So let's kind of like look around the site. Let's click sign in and actually go over to the View Creator dashboard. And something that I want to do is I actually want to build a complex full stack feature. So if you guys have been keeping up to date with the Vibe Coding an App Until I Make $1 Million series, we've been building viewcreator.ai. And one new thing about viewcreator.ai that we set up in yesterday's stream is we actually set up the ability for users to be able to connect X accounts. So you can see here that the BridgeMind AI X account is connected. So all I have to do is go to X, and there's a couple things where we left off yesterday that I'm not too happy with yet. So you can, disengage and compose. You have these new UIs, right, for being able to interact on X. So what I want to do is I want to go over to this page, and I actually want to talk to this model. And what we want to do is we want to come up with a better format and a better way to be able to have pages that are specific for being able to publish posts from viewcreator.ai to X, and then to be able to actually engage and respond to posts. So there's two different things, and it's very, very important to know that, hey, I don't like this look. So right now, I can use this tool here, and I can respond, and I can make a post on X right now, right? But I just don't like the look of it. I don't think that it looks very good. So let's just try this out. So let's just drop in. So we can drop in this, the div selector here. Let's actually not do the div selector. Let's just drop in the whole page, and I'm going to use Whisper Flow, and I'm going to give it a prompt. Review this page in the View Creator Creator UI, and note that we have Compose and Engage. And right now, I actually want to reformat this so that these are two separate pages, and that the X page here looks like the respective YouTube page, where you go to this X page, and from there, it's essentially a navigation menu where you're able to navigate to the sub-tools pages. So review how the YouTube page does this and update this page accordingly, and create two separate pages for being able to compose and then engage for X. So pretty simple there. All I'm going to do now is I'm going to go to the YouTube page so that it has that as reference, so it knows where to look. I can also go and I can, I'm going to at the View Creator Creator UI. Oops. Let's at the View Creator Creator UI. And then we're also going to at the X. Can we actually find the X page in here? So X modules test. Okay, so it's right here. So this is the actual page, and then I can do the same thing with YouTube. Just go down here, not that one. So I'm looking in, looks like there's just a ton of YouTube pages. So I'm actually gonna go over here to the sidebar, since that one's a little bit hard to find in the search, which could be an improvement that Cursor makes, but we can just go down here, and it's this index page right here is the one that we want, okay? So we're going to X out of this, and we're now going to pass off this prompt to agent mode and let it do its thing. And then, oh, looks like we had an issue there. Recent X format page. Okay, so it said, we encountered an issue when using your API key. Provider was unable to process. So it looks like we have an issue here. The provider was unable to process. Can we go back to this and see what was causing that? It says there's one alert. Let's see here. So this works. This works. That's interesting. Okay. Unable to reach my copy request details. I mean, it's a 404. So that's interesting. So, I mean, I thought that we had this set up to the point where we could just connect the OpenRouter here, Kimi K2 Thinking. I mean, it's right here, right? How about this? How about we try the Kimi K2 Thinking and see if that gets us through. So Kimi K2, let's try Kimi K2 on it and see if that throws a 404. So that one didn't throw a 404. So that's interesting. Maybe somebody in chat knows why that threw a 404. So, you know, we connected these models, and this one here threw a 404, and then this one didn't. So obviously the OpenRouter is working, but interested as to why that the Moonshot one actually threw that 404. That's very interesting. Maybe somebody in chat knows the answer to that. But we're still going to be able to try the Kimi K2 Thinking, but just interesting that this one threw a 404, because we should be able to. It's just Moonshot AI. This one here, I mean, we copied it directly, so interesting that it threw. What's the uptime on it? Is it down or something? Looks like it's got 100% uptime. So that's interesting. Maybe somebody in chat knows what caused that, and we can take a look at it, maybe try it in another video. But it looks like for now, Kimi K2 will have to do instead of the larger model, but that's okay. So with that being said, there's a couple things that I also want to try from a UI perspective. So right now, we're going to do a couple things related to the API, but while this is in progress, let's actually launch another agent. And there's an issue with this div here. So I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but this div is like really annoying. Like if I hover over it, the problem is that it opens, like you guys can kind of see it's like glitching out on me. It's like really hard to get this opened and closed. So for the platform tools, I'm going to kind of select this. And what's nice about Cursor is to be able to select at the div level, you know, what you're actually doing is very, very nice. Let's close this. And this is giving me like so many issues, but like that's the issue with this this div is that, you know, it's launching that on hover. So for, I'm going to say, for the platform tools link in the navigation, right now it displays the side menu with that actually have the platform links in it. When I hover over platform tools, make it so that the user actually has to click the platform tools link to then open the sidebar for it. And then let's actually see, this can be a good test. I'm not sure if this can take images. A lot of these models can't take images that are like the cheaper models. Yeah, so this one doesn't take images. So that's a note. You know, it's interesting because all the frontier models that cost, you know, more money, they take in images and they can see, right? Like when I look at GLM 4.6 or I look at Minimax M2 or I look at now Kimi K2, you know, these models are cheaper, right? They're less expensive, but they do have some drawbacks. For example, small context windows. Like this one's what it was like 250, what 262,000, I think, and that doesn't even really offset the price. So Kimi K2 Thinking, we'll see how it does. We'll see how it performs on these two tasks. But one thing that I will say is, if we go back to OpenRouter and we just take a look, like, hey, what is this model? How much does it cost? Where does it sit compared to other models? Hey, like 60 cents per million on the input and then $2.50 per million on the output. I mean, that's not great. If we look at the rankings, we can see how is everything actually doing. And I mean, I don't know if Kimi K2 is just hasn't been ranked yet because it's so new. And I think that's the case, but I mean, you have a model that doesn't rank, right? So I'm like, hey, that's great that they have a new model, but not every new model should be used, right? So you kind of have to figure that out for yourself. It looks like this one is awaiting review now. So as you guys can see, that's actually perfect. So this now doesn't like open up on hover. You actually have to click it, okay? So that's nice. So that was perfect. Let's double check and make sure that on mobile screens that is correct. One thing is on the mobile nav, make sure that the links are ordered and functioning the same as they are on the larger navigation. For example, on the larger nav, platform tools rests under create, but on the mobile nav, it's in a different spot. Fix this so that they are the same. So that's just like the platform tools. That's just like a styling thing. So we'll fix that. Let's see how, speed-wise, it's decent. I would kind of put it in, it's not like super, super fast. Obviously, there's models that are way faster now with like Composer 1. I mean, Composer 1 will already be done by now. Let's see how this one's doing. So it looks like it is creating the compose page that we wanted. It looks like that's being done. I mean, speed-wise, how long has this agent been running? Probably like 2 or 3 minutes. So speed-wise, I would say that this model is probably, somebody can probably look up the amount of tokens per second, but speed-wise, I can tell that it's not like super, super fast. I mean, let's check performance, latency, try AI Turbo. I really wanted to try this one here. Kimi Linear is a hybrid linear attention architecture that outperforms traditional full attention methods across various contexts. That would have been interesting. But even like back to our point on price, 60 cents per million on the input, 250 on the output. I mean, if you go to GPT-5, it's like, hey, let's go to GPT-5. How much is GPT-5? $1.25 per million on the input, and it is $10 per million on the output. So that is expensive, but it looks like this is now done. So let's go over and see, hey, on that X page, did it do what we needed? So we now have viral posts, replies, and then compose. So this now compose page, that looks pretty good. Take a look at the styling and logic of the compose page. Make it look and feel more like X, and also allow users to drag and drop images or videos respectively. Make sure that this actually works. And for the scheduling feature, please just improve the styling of this. So we'll just kind of see the creativity of it. So what I want to do is I just kind of, hey, I want it to look more and feel more like X. This is kind of just like an open text box. I don't like it that much. So we'll see what this comes up with, and then we'll actually be able to test it here in a second. But just on these two tasks, it's decent. Let's see, let's go back and let's shrink the mobile nav and see, hey, was it able to get that? And it looks like it wasn't. This error, this here, it said that it fixed it, but it didn't. So, and this is an issue where, when you start not being able to drop in images or to use browser tools that actually have the ability to see, I'll tell you what, this is probably a one-shot on Composer. So let's actually go and try on Composer. Is Composer going to be able to get this, right? Let's do continue and revert, and let's see. Okay, we're going to have to change the model provider key. So let's let this one finish. But what I want to do is I actually want to test that same prompt with Composer and see, hey, was Composer able to actually get that logic done just because of its ability to see and enable browser tools, right? Because you have models that are cheaper, that are cheaper than GPT-5, that are cheaper than Sonnet, that are cheaper than Gemini 2.5, but if they can't see, it is going to affect the output, right? So that's definitely something that you should consider. So after this, we're actually gonna see, hey, let's try it with Composer 1, and was Composer 1 able to come up and fix this ordering issue that we're having, which honestly isn't a huge issue, but it's one that obviously is just like a small user interface thing of like, hey, don't have, your everything like switched up. I mean, those mobile menus should be the exact same. So we'll see how Composer does, but I mean, Compose, what has this been running for? I mean, a minute, right? I mean, I think that this model is fairly slow. So this is one thing that I'm not a huge fan of, is this Kimi K2 model does seem slow. The biggest thing I think in 2026 is going to be speed. We had a revolutionary year in 2025 because of all the thinking and being able to have the model take a little bit of extra time to actually think and process before, outputting, and, that's great. But if you have models that do that and they're just slow, I mean, I would have already had this done with Composer 1 just like that. And I already would have had this done with Sonnet 4.5 just like that. And it probably would have been better than what we'll see. So we'll see how the output is. But unless this is like an insanely good styling, not really interested in what this is going to do. So we'll see. We'll give it a shot. And I actually want to get a tweet ready to talk about this model. So we're going to actually post to the BridgeMind X account. So let's go to Kimi K2 Thinking, and let's just take a screenshot of this up here. And what we'll do is we'll just screenshot this, and we'll have this prepared, that screenshot, and we'll just make a comment about that screenshot. So let's see. It looks like it's actually updating the Compose page now, and let's see what it does and how it performs. Checking for any linting errors, and okay, so here it is. So here's what it came up with. So what's happening? No border here. So it did actually make it look more like X. I'm pretty sure, isn't that the same exact thing as X, right? So let's see. Let's actually see if it works. So drop in the image and say, I just tried out the new Kimi K2 Thinking model. My thoughts. Slow. Number one, this model's slow. Can't take in images as reference. And the price does not offset the limitations of the model. I mean, I'm probably not going to use Kimi K2 Thinking, to be completely honest. I mean, I will say this. That's the hard part here, is that technically, I do think that this did a good job, right? I mean, if you guys look at this, I mean, this is a decent job here with being able to drag and drop images or videos. I think that did a good job. What about the scheduling? Does that look good? It didn't find, so there is a schedule. We have a scheduling UI component, and technically I didn't tell it to like go find it and use it. But some of the models, they'll be so intuitive about the code base that they'll be able to find it and know, okay, this is what was done for scheduling on another page. Let me integrate this same logic. So, I just tried out the new Kimi K2 Thinking model. My thoughts, it's slow. It can't take in images as reference, and the price does not offset the limitations of the model. So yeah, I mean, it's 60 cents on the input, $2.50. I mean, that's affordable, right? But for the, not being able to drop, I mean, you have the Minimax model that is probably better than this model, and it does perform better, Minimax, in my opinion. So let's post this. Let's see if it actually posts, or if it broke functionality. So it said that it posted. Let's go check over and see, hey, did it actually post? Let's see here. Let's go over here. And let's go over to my X account, and let's go to this, and did it post? Yeah. Oh, one issue is that it did not post the image. It didn't post the image. So, this is where I think that you have to start taking into consideration the speed of the models and being able to iterate quickly, because I think that a huge part of vibe coding is being able to build very quickly and then iterate based off of the results, right? So you're testing these things actively, right? And to not have the ability to drop in the images or videos, that is an issue, right? Because I know that if I was using Composer 1, it probably is a one shot away from being able to actually get the images. So let's see if Kimi K2 can get the images, but we'll see. So I just uploaded an image and made a post, but the issue is that it actually did not post the image in the X post. Note that this is a bug, and I need you to identify the source of this bug and figure out why, when I uploaded an image or video and I made a post using the compose page, why did it not actually post that image or video? Identify this bug and then actually update the code so that it does post the image. So, obviously that's an issue. I mean, we can check logs. I mean, if there was a bug thrown in logs, that's possible. Oh, right here, yeah. So right here, failed to upload image. So let's actually drop this in, okay? So we're gonna drop this in as reference. So I'm glad that we at least had, the logic of the logs to be able to say, okay, obviously we did get a warn that it did fail to upload it. So that's good. It was a 403 error, which means that it could be related to like the plan that I'm on, or there's some type of limitation there. So we'll see if Kimi K2 is able to figure it out. But let's actually go over here, and I'm not happy with that that logic where it did not fix this issue that we had with the ordering of everything. Like literally there are links here in the mobile nav that are not the same. So really what should happen is that let's drop in the, what component even is this? I'm assuming that it's in a layout component. So let's go over to the View Creator Creator UI, and then in components, there should be a layout directory. And then inside here, we have the mobile header, the sidebar. So let's drop all of this in, the mobile header, the sidebar. The mobile menu for the View Creator Creator UI and the actual sidebar have different links. This is incorrect, as both of these navigation menus should actually be pulling and ordering the links the exact same. And right now it seems like they're actually setting them differently. So review the logic for the mobile menu versus the sidebar in the View Creator Creator UI and create logic so that they actually pull from the same source, so that when I update the source and I update the links, it's automatically able to update both of the navigation systems instead of having to hard code both of them and them being different. You guys see what I'm saying? So we're going to actually build a better solution, because right now the source of the issue is that, hey, you have two things that are completely separated that you're hard coding. So obviously, take a look at that. Okay, so it says that it found the bug. The issue is in the simple upload image method in the X service. The problem is that X upload method endpoint expects multi-part form data, not application XWW form URL encoded. Let me fix this. Let me check the imports and add form data. So looks like it was able to find the bug. We'll see. We'll be able to test this. We'll make another X post and see if it was able to get this. If it's able to get it, pretty respective. Let's see the context. So the context window here, if we hover over here, oh wow. Okay guys, so this is actually something that we didn't notice. So it looks like the context window here is 1 million. So I'm not actually sure why that's happening. So if you remember in OpenRouter, it said that the Kimi K2 thinking model was 252,000 in context. And then here it's actually saying that it's 1 million. So interested on why that is. And I will say that this here, if this works, I'm actually pretty impressed, because that was fast. That was able to update that pretty quickly. So let's see if it was able to one-shot it. And then we'll just make a post about, let's make a post about the price, okay? So we'll go over here and we'll, once again, oh, actually we already have that screenshot, right? So we'll upload this screenshot. So here's the screenshot that we're gonna make. Kimi, my thoughts on the Kimi K2 thinking model costs 60 cents per million input and $2.50 per million output. Reasonable pricing, but is the model's limitations worth the affordability? Let me know your thoughts. All right, so let's see. The Kimi K2 thinking model costs this on the input and then this on the output. Reasonable pricing, but is the model's limitations worth the affordability? Let me know your thoughts. So let's now post this and see. It could throw an error, so it said no. So it said, I will say it failed again, guys. So it did fail again. You can see that it did fail. So let's reset this and see, hey, was it able to actually get that? And no, it wasn't. So, you know, I will tell you this, okay? When models do this where it, you know, it has this and I'm like, oh, wait, hold on, guys. This actually was, okay. So hold on. Sorry. The video is getting a little bit long, but I'm sorry. We're doing too much. Okay, so there actually was a bug here, okay? Fix this bug. So in the Nest API that we're using, if you have a bug that is created and you're running npm dev, like you're actually just running the dev server, it's not going to refresh the issues, like that whatever code you just created, it's not going to actually refresh that. So that makes sense that that didn't work. So let's fix this issue. Let's have it fix it, and then we're actually going to make that same post. So did somebody already respond to that? I mean, yeah, somebody did. Okay. Maybe we can make a different post comparing like Kimi K2 pricing to the OpenRouter. I don't know. We'll do something else. Kimi K2 Thinking. Maybe we can talk about the context this time. Yeah, let's talk about the context. Okay. So here, now it's updated. We'll see. Let's do a drag and drop and see, hey, was it able to get it actually this time? Kimi K2 Thinking has a 262,000 context window. All right, we'll be exact. We'll be exact, guys. 144 context window, but when used in cursor, I actually am able to get a context window of over 1 million. Does anybody like this model? All right, so let's post this. And remember, this is just a test. I'm not a huge X guy, but let's see this. Okay, so this now 100%, it was not able to fix that because it failed to upload again. So let's refresh. You guys saw the 403. And I think the big question is, can Composer fix this in one shot? And I don't want this video, sorry, this video is getting like super long, but I think it's good to test these models and then to see and actually to compare, okay, take an actual frontier model, which I do believe Composer is a frontier model that you should be using if you're in Cursor. I think Composer is a great model. So let's open up our settings and let's actually turn off that key. So let's go over here and let's now turn this off, okay? We're gonna turn this off now, both of them. And we're now going to go back and we're going to tell Composer 1, I'm still getting this error and I need you to fix it. Will it be able to fix it and how fast? I am getting a failed to upload image to X. Why is this happening? Fix it. So let's see if Composer 1 is able to fix it. And the one thing about Composer 1 is it is so fast that you're able to build and iterate so quickly, okay? So it says fixing form data headers, Axios and Node.js doesn't automatically set the multi-part boundary, updating the code to use form data headers explicitly. So that seems like a pretty simple error that Kimi K2 looked over. So let's see if this works. Then we're gonna make another post that's like, if you're seeing this, then, okay, what was this? Okay, guys, all right, this is an error that was made by, all right, so you guys see this error? This was made by Kimi K2. This one that you're seeing here, this 500, this was made by Kimi K2. So let's go back over to this here and click stop, okay? This Kimi K2 model, I'm gonna do disapprove, thumbs down on this model. Fix your errors and finalize the code. Yeah, I mean, slow. I mean, if we came back to this sidebar issue and it was like slow, right? It was very slow. I would have expected it to be done by now. It should be fixed very quickly. Composer 1, boom, solves our issue. Probably solves the initial actual request, right? I mean, let's open it up. Composer 1, did it do its thing? You can see here's the order of nav here. Let's see, connected accounts is feature enabled. All right, so it's doing what it needs to do. Let's go back. Let's let it do its thing. Mobile header, fixing the platform totals. I mean, and that's the thing with the Composer 1 models. It's just so fast that you're going to be able to do a lot more. And platform tools, looks like this is still the same though. So Composer 1 is also having an issue with this. So let's not worry about that yet. Let's just worry about this issue here and see, hey, can we actually solve this? Let's go to Kimi K2 Thinking. Let's go here. And let's go back to cursor and drop this image in. Kimi K2 is not good. Okay, so let's see if it does it. Posting, posted, go back. Okay, now we have even more errors. So it's throwing this 403 is just a super sticky error. So, I mean, I don't think that Kimi K2 is that good. You know, we could try this with another model. It's just saying failed to upload. Man, what is going on? So I'll have to look at this offline. But what I will say is that Kimi K2 is just too slow. And, you know, you can use it, and there is going to be, you know, some price offsets that you're going to have because it is a more affordable model than some of the Frontier models. But is it worth the speed? The speed is very slow. You don't have the ability to actually get the images and drop images in, which is a huge limitation. And then, is it really that intelligent where you can one-shot things? I don't think it is. So this is not a model that I'm personally going to be using in my workflow. You guys let me know your thoughts in the description or the comments down below. And yeah, looking forward to seeing you guys on stream today. And let's keep the progress rolling. Let's get it. See you guys.